Holy moly, I'm tired. That's because wild dreams all night. Guess who got lucid? Me. Whoa. And as I always say, lucidity is a spectrum. So I was not in that. Actually, I was about 99% lucid. And this was one of those dreams where in the lucidity, I understood that I was dreaming and I understood that, oh, I could fly away, I can do this, I could do this, I could do this. But I wasn't able to make the things happen. And that happens sometimes where I know I am dreaming and I know I could like theoretically make an apple appear in my hand because it's a dream and it's all in my mind. But when I was trying to do something like that, like trying to make an apple appear in my hand, I couldn't do it. Flying was difficult, and just doing the things I wanted to do was difficult, even though I understood that it was all a dream. All right, so this dream, the scenery was again out in the forest. It was very, very cascades looking. It definitely looked like Oregon. There was lots of it was lots of hilliness, or not necessarily hills, but dips and cliffs and stuff. It was deep in the forest, lots of old growth. There was mist here and there coming out of the forest, and my people were we all lived in this certain area in the forest, and we were magicians, or we knew how to use magic to live. And there were these other people. Like, this is how I became lucid. All of a sudden, I knew that there was another group of people that were going to come and kill my people. And these people were basically the Knights Templar. um, this was a weird dream. I say that every time. But so my people were like the magician people. They were considered by these other people to be wrong, basically, because we lived with magic, and they considered that to be animalistic and beneath them and dirty and like a disgrace to God. And these Knights Templar people, like, bear with me, dream logic. Um, these humans were created from the angels fucking humans, and it made this group that called themselves, they didn't call themselves the Knights Templar. I'm just naming them that in my bed in waking life, because they were wearing like cornflower blue and lots of chainmail, and then they had metal hats with a little nose guard on them. And a lot of this dream was being observed from way above. I wasn't always necessarily in the dream, I was observing it a lot of the times. So at one point, I'm observing everything from far above, and I'm watching everyone in my village, like these nomadic people, just, gathering fucking pine cones. I don't know, just milling about in the forest, minding their own business. And then I, like, way, way far off in the distance, I see this movement of blue, and it really stands out because everything else in the dream is like forest colors, greens of trees, like evergreen trees, grays of rocks of the cliff, and different colors of browns of the tree bark. But those are pretty much the only colors. So when I see this certain color of blue way off in the distance, I'm like, da, 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 the alarm alert. And so I sound the alarm, and I tell everyone, I'm like, hey, these people are coming to kill you guys. Um, the idea in this dream was like, we were the mud people, and we had magical powers from something. I don't know if it was just from like communing with the earth or with something like that, but the night type people considered us very dirty, and they were like, they need to be eradicated. And I was lucid, and I thought, oh, okay, they're gonna come. I'll be able to control all of this. But then, the nights came, and I was having a really hard time staying in the air, and I couldn't make things appear in my hand. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna like fly away and change the scene. If I was a little bit more lucid and I wasn't so concerned about like saving the magic people, I would have stopped and I would have gone and talked to one of the Knights Templar, and would have asked them who they were, what they were doing, why they were doing what they were doing. That's why I say I was 99% lucid, because I briefly, like, maybe had the idea to talk to them, but I was definitely more caught up in the adrenaline of a battle scene. So I went away. And in the next scene, it changed. It was the same idea, but it was like thousands of years into the future, in modern times now. And I was with one of my best friends, Rochelle, and her family. And she has a little family with a couple of children and her husband, and they're my neighbor by a country mile. And we were in one of their relatives' house, and it was very dark in there. And we were like, I was one of these mutant magic people, and so was my friend Rochelle and her family. And I guess the magic didn't start to appear until you were a little bit older, so her children could pass as non-magic having folk. And I I got the feeling, where I heard something, that the bad guys were coming and they were gonna break in the house and they were gonna kill everyone that wasn't normal. So I told Rochelle and her husband, I was like, we gotta go, and you have to leave the babies with your aunt, because your aunt's not magic, the babies don't appear to be magic, and we can leave and come back and get them. But if we stay here, they're gonna kill us and the babies and your aunt, even though they're not magic, because they'll know. So I passed by this mirror in the hallway. This has never happened in a dream, especially not a lucid dream. And this didn't knock me out of lucidity. When I looked into the mirror, my eyes were white, completely white. And I was like, huh? And I got closer to the mirror and I looked at my eyes and, oh, sorry, went out of focus. Boop. And I just was like, whoa, this is super freaky. What a cool dream. My eyes are white. And I was like looking around my eyeballs. And Rochelle's and her husband's eyes were white too. And then I was like, see, guys, they can see our magic. We better GTFO. And we tucked the kids in. And I could hear people down the road. And I was, pretty much fully lucid. And I was thinking, all right, time to create one of these dream scenery things for me. When I get lucid, the 3 F's of lucid dreaming: flying, food, and fucking. I love to fly, and when I choose to fly, it's a specific situation. I like to get really high in the air and fly over magical, epic landscape scenes. So it could be flying over, I don't know, the mountains or the Caribbean, or just something that my mind created. But that's usually my dream and goals. My dream and goals. My goal and dreams. I'm not awake. Or am I? Oh, fuck. Okay. So that's what I was going to do. And I kind of set it up and I start flying. I have a difficult time flying at this point, and the scenery isn't quite as epic as it usually is. And I was kind of complaining about that to myself. I'm like, oh, this is a lucid dream, but man, usually the scenery is a little more, I'm like flying over it. Usually the scenery is a little more, I don't know, interesting than this. And I was kind of judging my lucidity level. Um, there were a bunch of other things that happened in my dreams. I had other dream snippets, but they did not make any sense and they'd be really hard to explain, such as there was this magical entity. Gosh, okay, I'm gonna have to explain this. So there was the Knights Templar people who were a mix of like the archangels and humans. So these humans thought they were the best humans. They thought they were the most righteous humans. Then there were the mud people, which were us, and we had magical powers. I don't know where we got them from. I think that we might have been a mix of humans and something else. And then there was another entity that was somehow related to jinn or something. And you couldn't really see them, but you could see them if they gathered other material and it like stuck to them, such as one of these things got into one of the children's room and we set up a trap for them. We set up, we made a fake child out of blankets and tucked him into the bed, and then myself and this child hid on the other side of the bed so he could like pretend, he could like make his voice seem like he was in the bed by saying, "Oh, could someone bring me a glass of water? I'm not sleepy yet." And so this jinn spirit thing like was gonna go and attack the kid, the fake kid in the bed, because it's like, oh, I hear this human voice and I see this human shaped lump in the bed. And so this jinn spirit thing went to attack it, and then the kid and I sprang up and we had like, I guess you'd call it a Nerf gun. It didn't look like a Nerf gun, but it was supposed to represent one, and it had a whole bunch of blue ping pong balls in it. And it was actually Rochelle's child that like shot the heck out of where this jinn thing was supposed to be, and all the blue ping pongs stuck to it until it was like this lizardish humanoid form of blue ping pongs. And how do I explain what happened next? I jumped on top of the bed and I was like, aha. And I don't know, I did some weird kung fu voodoo magic shit and made it go away. And then the children were able to go and hide, and I don't remember what I did. I think that I was starting to wake up at this point, and I realized that I was waking up, and I was like, I'm just gonna let this happen because I can't control the dream. So I woke up and I'm trying to remember any other dreams I had. Those snippets don't make sense. But yeah, all right, there it is. There's my dreams. My wild dreams. I did take dream supplements last night, and I also used my Wake into Dreaming. I set my alarm for 4 hours and 13 minutes after I went to bed. And I woke up, I took some dream supplements, and then I went back to sleep. And I did smoke weed yesterday, but I have been cutting way back for the last 4 days. I'm smoking about 10 or 15% of what I usually smoke. So not quite zero, but very close to it. And I know that definitely helped me dream more. I think my dream supplements are helping me, and that will be a whole nother video, but I don't have time to talk about dream supplements right now. So yeah, I'm really glad that I started my dream journaling again. I was so afraid of just getting everything perfect to start again, and I guess I didn't need to do that because it's all coming back to me again pretty quickly. So yeah, what did you dream about? Tell me in the comments below. Please use this as your dream journal too, and I would like to hear